The phone vibrated while my father slept. Machines breathed for him. Slow. Mechanical. Late-stage cancer turns time into a countdown you can hear. My wife's name lit the screen. I didn't answer. Another vibration. A message preview slid across the glass. Can't talk. He needs me. He. Not you. Not your father. Just he. I stared at the reflection of my own face in the black screen. Older than last week. Sharper. Something inside me had already learned the truth before my mind caught up. I stepped into the hallway. White walls. No sound, but the distant hum of life support. I opened the phone. A photo arrived by mistake. Deleted a second later. Too late. Her bare shoulder. A man's wrist on her hip. A familiar watch. Her male best friend. The one who understood her. The one I had thanked once for being there for us. My father coughed in his sleep. Wet. Terminal. I felt nothing at first. That came later. I typed one word. Okay. Then I turned the phone face down and went back to watching my father die. Denial is a luxury grief doesn't allow. At the hospital, my wife showed up late. Eyes bright. Too bright. She kissed my cheek like a colleague. I'm exhausted, she said. I nodded. I studied the way she avoided my eyes. The way her phone never left her hand. That night, while she slept, I memorized her breathing and unlocked her phone using the face she trusted. Messages archived. Photos hidden. Months of quiet betrayal wrapped in affectionate lies. She had been supporting herself emotionally, physically into him while I funded the life she complained about, while my father shrank into bone and pain. Still, I said nothing. The real insult came days later. Thanksgiving morning. A call from my daughter-in-law. Her voice sharp. Entitled, "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes." No greeting. No shame. I looked around my empty house. My wife had plans. My son was silent. The cancer reports lay folded on the table like death warrants. I smiled. Enjoy, I said, and ended the call. That night, alone, I booked a flight. Switzerland. I don't rage. I calculate. In Zurich, the air was clean enough to cut through thought. My villa sat above the lake, glass and stone, paid for long before anyone decided I was disposable. I watched, waited. Back home, my wife continued her performance. Concerned texts. Crocodile empathy. I hired no one. I needed no proof beyond what I already had. Phone records confirmed patterns. Hotel bookings aligned with yoga retreats. A joint account quietly drained in amounts she thought invisible. I let it happen. Meanwhile, my daughter-in-law posted photos of her Thanksgiving spread. Hashtags about family. About gratitude. She had always measured love in inheritance. I posted one photo. Just one. The villa. Morning light on the water. No caption. My phone exploded. 71 missed calls in 3 hours. My daughter-in-law first. Then my son. Then my wife. I answered none. I poured a drink and watched the Alps hold their silence better than any of them ever had. I returned home the day my father died. I didn't cry. At the funeral, my wife held my arm like property. Her lover stood at the back, pretending respect. Afterward, at home, I placed a folder on the table. Phone logs. Photos. Bank statements. I slid it toward her. "What's this?" she asked, already pale. "Support," I said. Her mouth opened, closed. I can explain. I know, I replied. That's why I don't need to hear it. She cried, loud, desperate, apologetic in the way people are when consequences finally arrive. I remained seated, still. The next call was to my son. Speakerphone. His wife listened. I've revised my will, I said calmly. You're no longer in it. Silence. Then panic. What? Why? I looked at my daughter-in-law. She was already calculating apologies. I don't fund disrespect, I continued. Or greed. My wife sobbed harder. I ended the call. Divorce papers were already prepared. Accounts frozen. Assets secured. Her lover's messages forwarded to his employer. His spouse. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. Weeks later, the house was quiet. No wife. No entitled relatives. No illusions. My father's room was empty now. The machines silent. I returned to Switzerland. Some people call it revenge. I call it alignment. They mistook my silence for weakness. My patience for permission. The phone no longer rings. And for the first time since the diagnosis, since the betrayal, since the insult, I sleep. Cold, clear, untouched. They lost everything chasing what they thought I owed them. I kept what mattered by walking away.